Let's continue our look at this shipping worksheet and see how we can overcome the problem when incorrect data is entered into our table. When Excel can't find a match with the lookup function, it returns this NA error. Not only does this not look very good, but it isn't very helpful to our user either. It doesn't tell our user what they did wrong. Excel 2013 has a new feature, and this allows us to display an error message when a VLOOKUP formula returns an error like this. It's a function called ifNA. And I'm going to adapt this formula so that we can add the ifNA portion to it. So I'm going to click in the formula bar here and type ifNA, and then I'm going to wrap the entire VLOOKUP function in this formula. But inside here, I need to add something. I need to add what Excel is to do if an error is encountered. So all I'm going to do is type something that is going to explain what's going on. I'm typing invalid region inside the quote marks. I'm going to click outside the formula and press enter. Now, in the case of this first formula, invalid region is not going to show because we have a valid region. The VLOOKUP function is able to calculate perfectly, but when I copy this formula down the column, it's going to give us a better result in these two areas where the region was incorrectly entered. The ifNA function is saying to Excel, if this lookup function, when you perform it, returns an NA error, then show me instead invalid region. But if the VLOOKUP function doesn't show an NA error, just go ahead and calculate it as you normally would. This is a lot better result for our user. Now let's move forward and look at a situation where we want to get a match but not necessarily an exact one. Here we have some exam results, and in this table we can see what these results mean. A grade of over 0 but under 50 is a fail. 50 and under 65 is a pass. 65 and under 75 is a credit. 75 and under 90 is a distinction, and 90 and over is a high distinction. When we're looking for this value, 55 in this table, we want to get the next nearest match, and that will be this 50, so we want to return a pass. The VLOOKUP function can do that for us. I'm going to type again VLOOKUP and a bracket and click in the cell that we want to look up. I'll type a comma and then I'll select over the table of data, not including the headings. And because we know that this needs to be an absolute value, I'm going to click on these two cell references and press F4 to make them absolute. I'll type a comma and then 2 because it's the second column that contains the data that we want to return. And now I'll click True because we want an approximate match. I'll close the bracket and press Enter. And Excel has returned a high distinction. And this formula can be copied down the column. Let's look at what's happening here. Excel is looking this exam result of 55 up in this list. It can't find an exact match. So what it's looking for is the highest number in this list that is not larger than 55. So the biggest number that's not bigger than 55 is this 50 here, so it's returning a pass. Let's have a look here. We're looking for the biggest number that is not bigger than 76. The biggest number in the list, not bigger than 76, is 75. It's returning a distinction. Lookups like this are useful for making calculations such as assigning a grade to a student. If a mistake is made in entering the exam results, and if we change the result, the VLOOKUP formula recalculates and the correct grade is assigned. Let's go back here and give this student the correct grade.